It's Friday, and you know what that means. They put some actual effort in this week. Yay! I'm John Rectum with my review of AEW Rampage. But yes, one of the best episodes of Rampage in quite a while, especially that main event. Oh boy, that main event may be on my favorite matches of the year list by year's end. Let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments, please. We have Excalibur, Taz, Ricky Starks, and William Regal on commentary to start. No Jericho Aniston, thankfully. If they can keep him off of commentary for good, I'd be all for it. I don't care how much of a fortune Tony Khan is wasting on him. We don't need to hear Jericho Aniston screeching and shrieking and not adding anything to the goddamn program, on commentary or otherwise, but he's still there at least until next January. So, Bryan Danielson versus Trent, and Danielson's having a goddamn blast. Trent can work. I hate the best friend stuff. I hate it. I know some people like it. I don't. There was a nice back suplex outside. That was pretty goddamn brutal. Big superplex spot. Both sold it. Bryan, came back with some good kicks. There was a nice back suplex where Danielson, he was going to, back suplex Trent off the top. And Trent reversed. Landed right on Danielson. That looked pretty goddamn brutal. And then we get the Psycho Knee. I call it the Psycho Knee. I don't actually really know what it's called. I apologize if I'm offending any Japanese wrestling fans, if it's a Japanese wrestling maneuver. And Gotch-style pile driver. Kicks the head in. Neck cranked because I guess he decided to just say, well, you know what? Trent has a bad neck. Let me just crank on and see if I can fix it. Oh, that didn't help. Bryan gets a victory. Good stuff. Not great, but good. And Hook completely blows off Danhausen, who's in the trash, and eats a bag of chips that Hook left. Why is Hook and Danhausen, why are they having any kind of interactions? I don't get it. I don't. Some people like Danhausen. I'm not really a fan. I'm not wishing ill on the guy. It's not for me. And Hook is probably easily one of the most interesting talents that they've had as far as, just how they featured him. I'm not saying that give him the championship right now. I was actually thinking they were going to do that when Cody had the championship. But Cody is now back in WWE because he didn't get Punk money, and he got a lot of money from Vince that he's not going to end up being worth by the end of it. Anyway, Scorpio Sky's in there with Lambert, the sheepish lion Dan Lambert, and whatever in God's name Ethan Page was wearing, that shirt was hideous. It is a crime in several galaxies. Lambert yells a lot. Sammy and Ty, God, this is shit. I hate all of this, and I like Sky. Sammy's a good talent. Ethan can work, he's just not interesting. Ty and Sammy, and I know they're trying to be annoying because everybody wanted to put their love life out there. No, you guys kind of did that to yourself. Sammy kind of did that by proposing to his girlfriend at the time. And then we didn't see any of that. And whatever it was, they're together. It is what it is. Just maybe don't put your love lives out there like that. Ethan did say to his daughter, I hope you don't end up like Ty. So, yeah, this feud's still going to have... Sammy's going to continue to annoy Scorpio Sky until he gives him another shot. Which I imagine Sky will probably beat Sammy and move on to somebody that deserves the championship. Because they've given it to Sammy way too many times and it hasn't worked at all. It worked the first time initially. But I still say he beat Miro too soon. Where is Miro, by the way? Can Miro come back? Can Miro come back and destroy Sammy? Preferably destroy Ty as well. Wait, they don't allow intergender wrestling. That means they'd have to bring in Miro's wife to... no, don't do that. Don't. Just don't. Don't. Just don't do... Don't stop. Don't do this anymore. So, QT is Jericho Sports Entertainer of the Week. Okay. By the way, Swerve beat QT. I like Swerve. I got this shirt from him at an indie show about 3 years ago. I really like Swerve, and I'm happy for his success. WWE could have utilized him a whole lot better, but he's doing great things now, and he beat QT. I didn't care about this match outside of Swerve. That's it. But, Marina Shafir says, Jade, I'm begging you to solve my problem. Because apparently we are back to that Ariana Grande song. If anybody gets that reference, good for you. I don't know if there are any Ariana Grande fans that are watching my channel. So, Red Velvet faced Willow Nightingale in an Owen Hart qualifier. The crowd was into it, especially for Willow. In fact, they were really booing the shit out of Velvet. They really were booing her. Willow is good. I remember, I think I saw her on a Shimmer show. I think it was Shimmer at the Collective 2 years ago or so, or year and a half or something like that. I think it was October 2020. And she teamed up with, I'm trying to remember the name right now, Solo Darling, I think. And I was impressed with Willow Nightingale. She had a good match on the last Ring of Honor pay-per-view that I saw. I did not see all Supercard of Honor, but, Final Battle. And it was well worked enough. We're getting Minoru Suzuki versus Samoa Joe on Dynamite for the Ring of Honor TV Championship for some reason. I think Joe's going to win, and then we're going to get Joe versus Lethal, because I don't think Suzuki's going to hold the title that long. He's not going to be in there very long. They're probably going to win it back in New Japan. And then Willow did the moonsault, but Red Velvet, who apparently does not understand how distances work, she's a good athlete, but she doesn't understand how some things work. Willow nearly came right down on Velvet's head because Velvet did not get out of the way enough. Fortunately, it was fine and she didn't land on her head, but it could have been bad. And the crowd was really popping. They popped for the pounce. There was a nice cannonball in the corner, but eventually Velvet did a very convoluted thing into a kick 1, 2, 3, and the crowd booed. Willow did some good stuff. Red Velvet's a good athlete. I think Willow should have won, but I get why they went with Red Velvet. So, Tony Nese was interrupted by Mark Sterling, who wants to help him. Well, at least Nese can cut... Never mind. At least Nese won't have to cut promos, because Nese is a really good athlete. Just talking on camera isn't his thing. If Sterling's going to get a stable, that's fine. Maybe they could eliminate a few stables. Giving Sterling various people he manages isn't the worst thing in the world, and at least gives people who can't cut promos something to do. So, Moxley says he's going to spill Wheeler's guts all over the ring. Don't worry, Wheeler did that to himself. Wild thing, and holy shit, Wheeler comes out of the sky and lands, and that hasn't a way to rhyme, but my goodness, Wheeler just says, haha, yoink, and then just jumps, and we jumpstart the match. They battle into the crowd, they battle in, and they get the match started proper. Wheeler Yuta versus Jon Moxley. Wheeler Yuta, by the way, is the Ring of Honor Pure Champion after beating Josh Woods, who is somebody that if he is not going to be utilized by AEW, if he's not really going to be utilized that much on Ring of Honor TV at all, somebody needs to scoop him up. New Japan Strong needs to scoop him up, because the one match I saw of his on Final Battle, sign him. He has potential. Him versus Filthy Tom Lawler, sign me the fuck up. Rampage, by the way, will start at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time next week. Adjust your cocks accordingly. I already adjusted mine several times before I came on camera. Camera. But anyway, that means 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, basically, since I'm on the West Coast. So, but Moxley took over for a bit. Wheeler ended up, doing a spot where he was bleeding badly. I mean, he bladed and he was, it was a proverbial crimson mask. But this was good stuff. The crowd was really chanting for Wheeler Yuta, despite the fact he was wearing Mari Janae's tights from 1998. Wheeler Yuta is a good to pretty damn good worker. They just got to get him away from the best friends and rehabilitate his image. And I'm not talking just with this. I'm talking over time. Like, this worked here. But rehabilitate him like this, and you actually could get it to work. Crossbody through the goddamn table. Wheeler would not give up. He hit 3 Germans or whatever. 3 Germans, rather, and then decided to kick the head in. Decided to do some other good stuff. He's like, haha, I'm learning from all this stuff. And then we get a splash, and then we get the crossface or whatever. Hide your kids, hide your wife. And then Mox decides to bite the cut, because why the hell not? Why not do that? I know people are tested. Maybe don't. But then paradigm shift for 2. He gets the choke, but then knees to face. And then Wheeler just bowing back up and getting ready. And then Mox hits the regal knee. And then the paradigm toss, but just for 2. High angle paradigm 1, 2. And then he gets the choke out. And there we go. Mox gets a victory. Regal and Bryan come down. It looks like Regal's about to hit him. But Regal's not really going to get physical, because Regal's got a lot of health issues. And also he's 53 with a lot. I think he's 53 with a lot of health issues. But it's like this, and he sticks his hand, or it's like Wheeler's got his hand cocked, and he says, I'm going to fist you, Regal. And Regal says, I can't take a fist, my age. Here's my hand. Take my hand. Take my hand, take my whole life too, because I can't help if I invite you into this club too. That was just off the top of my head. He possibly is a member of the Blackpool Combat Club. Well, at least they didn't find a way to name it BBC. Take my BBC in your hand. What? So anyway, pretty damn good main event. In fact, I'd probably put it on my favorite matches of the year list. I was into this. Very good stuff. Wheeler, I know this was taped after Dynamite, but my goodness, Wheeler, please, for the love of God, don't blade like that. That was really brutal. Whatever, wrestlers are tough. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.